Good morning. I'd like to begin with a spiritual mind treatment. So I invite you to just take a breath. Close your eyes if you'd like. And allow yourself to become aware of this surroundings, this space, and the truth that strangely it's so easy to see when our eyes are closed, that this is a spiritual universe, that we live and breathe and have our being in spirit, and that spirit lives through us, as us, for us, and with us. We are one with this thing called spirit because it is all. Understanding this, I give thanks for our ability to be here together, to recognize together that there is good for each of us, and that this good begins right now. And so, in a way, I now plant the seed of knowing the truth about each of us, that there is good for us, that we ought to have it. And I now accept it on behalf of each and every one of us. And further, I declare that this morning's celebration brings joy, inspiration, happiness, and friendship. That each of us is embarked on a path of greater and fuller living. And this livingness is welling up through every aspect of our lives. I give thanks for the ability to see this, to know this, to speak this. I know it is the truth. And so I simply let go, turning this idea, this seed of thought, over to spirit, knowing that spirit responds always. Yes. And so I give thanks. And I invite you to close with me, to affirm this with me, by saying with me, and so it is. Thank you.
Groups. I'm going to do a little song here, just because of the mood of the song. Now, once upon a time, many moons ago, it was not a crime if you took it slow. So why don't we just sit here listening to the birdies sing? Modern as it is, life has lost some charm. Everything is biz, and too much does you harm. So why don't we just sit here listening to them birdies sing? Listen to the sparrow, hear the mockingbird, trading eggs with turtle doves. All that harmonizing, not a single word. Don't that sound like love? Now if we had some wings and we weren't this big, we could do them things like sitting on a twig. Then maybe we could sit in with the birdies as they sing. we blow just like this. Feel free to make any bird songs you like. Listen to the sparrow, hear that mockingbird, trade mates with trail doves. All that harmonizing, not a single word. Oh baby, don't that sound like love? If we had some wings and we weren't this big, we could do them things like sitting on that twig. Then maybe we could sit in. I'm content to sit here. Baby, let's just sit here, listening to them birdies sing. But them cats is jealous, they can't sing like them birdies sing.
That was great, Joe. So we're so happy to have you back, Joe Rathburn.
Glad to be here, thank you.
Speaking of happy to have you back, welcome, Pat.
Yay!
Pat, yay, welcome. Glad to have you walking and back with us, so great. So, hello everyone, I'm Reverend Kate, and it's my pleasure to welcome everyone to the Center for Spiritual Living Carlsbad, where we understand that there is a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and that we can use it. And so, right now, as we start, I'd like to invite Pat Z up to help us light our candles this morning. All we're doing is reminding ourselves of the underlying spirit of life and the divine unity of all as we do this. It's not magic, it's a reminder. So first we light a candle for life. Life is everywhere present, and pleasant also. Life is everywhere present, flowing through each and every one of us. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is our life now. So please affirm with me, I am life. We light a candle for love. The birth of love happens within each one of us every time we make room for the Christ consciousness in our hearts and recognize our unity. We are each points of love within the heart of God. Please affirm with me, I am love. We light a candle for light. The light of God is the presence and the power. We are always walking in the light. We radiate the light of God wherever we are. Please affirm with me, I am light. We light a candle for beauty. We are made in the likeness and image of God. We are each whole, complete, and beautiful, just as we are. We accept the beauty of God's perfection as our perfection. Now, please affirm with me, I am beauty. We light a candle for joy. Joy is the very nature of spirit and the true essence of each of us. We celebrate the joy of our own rebirth in the God consciousness. We each bring joy to the world. Please affirm with me, I am joy. We light a candle for peace. Today and every day we open our hearts to peace. We are each a center of peace in our world. Please affirm with me, I am peace. And finally, I invite you to take a moment to recognize your own inner light that is always shining within as we each honor our own metaphysical path of wholeness, oneness, and mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. Thank you, Pat. So I have a couple of announcements to share. So I do believe everyone here, we already have your name and email, so you don't have to sign the guest book today. Next time, bring some friends and we'll get them to sign the guest book. But I do want everyone to stay for fellowship after the service. And what is today? Birthday Sunday. Are you up for happy birthday?
Of course.
Oh, wait, who has a birthday in April?
All right.
Oh, we have Corky, we have Ruth Ann, and we have Reverend Maurene. So.
There you go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. I wasn't sure what you guys said, where you insert the name. I didn't know. What do you guys normally say?
The
I don't
names.
know. What do we say?
The names.
You say the names when there's three of them?
All of you, or
Yeah.
Okay.
beloved, or friend, or you guys. I don't know. We'll have to work on that.
I normally
Get
just
it
say
work.
happy birthday, happy birthday.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Very happy birthday. Yeah, so we have refreshments, special birthday refreshments. So I also want to remind everyone that Spiritual Mind Treatment is available after our service during fellowship, or you can put a written request in the box in the lobby, and our prayer team, which is listed on the back of the program, will treat for you during the week. And then for me, an important announcement that we want to share, that Reverend Maurene and I want to share, is that today we're going to start our new class, which is called Mental Equivalence. So it's going to start about 1:20, 1:30 probably, right in the back of the room. Well, we'll eat our cake and then we'll start. Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you. No wonder you were looking blank. It's going to start at 11:30. It's going to be over well before whatever I said. Yeah. Anyway, if you're uncertain whether you want to take it or not, you're welcome to just sit in today. And the other thing I wanted to ask again is, in the lobby on the table near the treatment box, we have a membership update form. And even if you filled it out before, it would be great if you could fill it out again. We do need to have an annual membership meeting, and we need to kind of update our membership list. So now it's time to say thank you. And after all, being a community-based center, I have to say, the volunteers do everything. So when I got here this morning, Jim was here, so I want to especially thank Jim for coming early and not just doing the video. We always say, oh, thanks, Jim, for doing the video. But he also comes early and is often the first or second person here.
Thank you.
So thank you. Set up the lobby. And did you notice these flowers? Ooh. Ruth Ann, let's give Ruth Ann. You know, Ruth Ann is such a great volunteer for us, but a lot of these flowers came to her because she also volunteers at the flower fields. And so this is, the ranunculus is from the flower fields and the rest are from her garden. So thank you, Ruth Ann. I want to recognize Robert for coming early and being the greeter today. And Morgan brought cake. Did you bring a cake?
A birthday cake.
Morgan brought a birthday cake, and Carolyn brought fortune cookies. Yeah, so that's a treat. And Larry brought some pastries, and I think more, so we're good.
Linda did too. Linda brought some.
And yeah, I know we have nailed the abundance when it comes to food, and so thank you everyone, because we all enjoy it. Let's see, and of course I want to thank Jan for helping us, and I think everyone else is going to be standing up here today. But I have to remind you, the volunteer sheet is in the lobby, so if you want to sign up, that'd be great. So now if you could look inside your program and find the group reading. Okay, we're ready. Please read with me. God is all, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect love and perfect abundance. I am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect abundance. And now it's time for a group song. If you want to stand up, that'd be great. You don't have to.
And if you'll do this with me. I'm waiting. Come on. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I'm the light of God, I am the light of God, and I've got to let it shine. I am the light of God, and I'm gonna let it shine. I am the light of God, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, this little light of mine, let me hear you. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. It ain't so little. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Very nice. Now, let's invite Jan up to give us today's inspirational reading.
Thank you. This reading is from the 365 Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. It's from page 86. It's called Personality. Personality is the use or misuse that we make of a unique something that's back of us that is expressing through us. We have many personalities that we understand, that each is, but some reflective form of that behind it, which is greater, in which may express warmth and color and love, unity, peace, joy, and happiness. We should learn to sense this greater self, for it is what the Bible means when it speaks of Christ in us. There is a pattern of God behind our personality, seeking unique expression through it. And this we should surrender everything, and to this we should surrender everything we are. For this surrender will not lead us away from reality. It is not an escape, but a revelation and an instrumentation of something greater than we appear to be. Today, I live in the knowledge that there is a presence hidden with me that is both the reality of my true being and the presence of God. I consciously unite my personal self and all of its actions with this overdwelling and indwelling reality. I know that the vitality of the living spirit flows through my personality, invigorating it. I know that all the warmth and color and beauty that is pouring through it, all its impulsions and actions flow from the presence of God in me as what I am, and reveal to me the same exalted divinity manifesting itself through all phases of humanity.
Well, hi, Carlsbad. Glad to be back here once again. This is a song about celebrating the small things that happen to us every day instead of waiting for the big things to happen. It's called Every Little Victory. And I've invited the band to join me on this song, so please, band, if you will, count it in. There's this man I know, he acts like a down and outer, never sees the bright side, he's a whiner and a powder. But he ain't poor, au contraire, he's got more dough than he can blow, yeah, he's a millionaire. But nothing makes him happy, nothing makes him smile. So we got that poor sucker beat by one long country mile. Every little victory is a cause for celebration. Each step of the journey gets you to your destination. Always count your blessings, forget about your tribulations. Each time you succeed, it's just another inspiration. You don't need to win the war to deserve a commendation, 'cause every little victory is a cause for celebration. Now this poor friend of mine, she loves to play the lotto. This week I'm gonna win it has become her favorite motto. She buys a ticket, she blows a chance, she screams no fair and pulls her hair and does an angry little dance. Sure, she could use the money, but she has a lot of fun. She's a winner when she dreams of what would happen if she won. 'Cause every little victory is a cause for celebration. Each step of the journey gets you to your destination. Always count your blessings, forget about your tribulations. Each time you succeed, it's just another inspiration. You don't need to win the war to deserve a commendation, 'cause every little victory is a cause for celebration. Now when you wake up in your bed, better thank your lucky stars that you're at least that far ahead. 'Cause it ain't the pace or where you place, nor what proves that you're a winner is when you're still in the parade. Now just the other day, while in my local grocery, two folks who look familiar called my name and then approached me. Well, knock me down. You could have done it with a feather, 'cause that rich man and Miss Lottery, they were standing there together. And that millionaire was smiling as she showed me the ring. They both just hit the jackpot. Need I say another thing? Every little is a cause for celebration. Each step of the journey gets you to your destination. Each time you succeed, it's just another inspiration. You don't need to win the war to deserve a commendation, 'cause every little victory is a cause for celebration. Every little victory, every little victory, every little victory, every little victory. You don't need to win a war to deserve a commendation. Every little victory, every little victory, every little victory is a cause for celebration.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad the band was here. My guitar just seemed to die on me, so I'll take care of that during the talk. Thanks.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Oh, there was one, and there was one announcement I forgot to make, and that is that next week, Reverend Debbie O'Donnell is going to be our special speaker. Yeah, so she and her husband Jeff are going to be visiting here from Minneapolis, and she's agreed to gift us with one of her talks, so it's going to be fun. So be sure to enjoy that. If you don't know, she was the minister here before she took off to the cold Northlands, so I'll be glad to see her for sure. So now it's my great pleasure to introduce Reverend Maurene, who we saw her last week, but it's kind of funny. So this week we have someone who's just come back from the warm lands, and next week we're going to have someone who's coming from the freezing cold lands. So it's good, you know, it just makes me so grateful to live here, right here on the coast.
Please welcome Maurene.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Reverend Kate. And I probably don't have much to say because Jan said it all. Today I want to talk about your divinity. Last week, Dr. Maddie talked about divinity, and I'm going to talk a little more about that. Welcome everyone. Just a little aside about the eclipse tomorrow. I don't think we're going to be able to see it, but it's a good time to think about it. You know, I thought, you know, the sun comes up, the sun goes down, the sun comes up, the sun goes down, the sun comes up. Where'd it go? So it's going to be a surprise for a lot of people, but it's a time to pause and think about light. So today I'm going to be talking about what I call a pattern of perfection, which is what you mentioned. And I'm going to talk about special gifts that we all have. We all have unique gifts. And I want to talk about your calling, because you're called to discover what those gifts are, how to develop them, how to share them, give them away. What are your gifts? Give them away. And then we're going to be teaching a class. You know the New Testament says it's the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Well, you want to know how to use it. This is a good class for showing you how to use it. And I want to talk about angels for a second. But just to let you know, we are the angels that we want to see in the world. Each of us is an angel. So speaking of angels, how do angels cook meals in heaven? They put them in the microwave on high.
On high.
How do angels light a candle? With a match made in heaven. And the last one, sorry. God spoke to his angels and he said, after extensive trials, I figured out a way to rotate a planet so it receives an even distribution of sunlight, day and night. Wow, said one of the angels, what are you going to do now, sir? And God said, I'll call it a day. Well, now that you're loosened up here, have any of you ever used a pattern? Any of you made your own clothes? Yeah. Or crocheted or knitted or built a house or even a staircase. You use a pattern, or blueprints, but you start with a pattern, especially and you can change it from there. But with doing clothing, like you create what you think you look good in, sort of a basic style. You take that pattern and you pin it on the material that you bought. Now, sleeves, you can do all kinds of things with sleeves. Puffy sleeves, long sleeves, short sleeves, no sleeves, cap sleeves. There are hundreds of different kinds of sleeves. And this is part of the variation of life. So many different variations as there are people. And yet this pattern of perfection that I want to talk about is in you, and it's always been in you. And you are perfect because you're one with it, you're one with God. And some people, they look in a mirror. Can you look in a mirror and say, oh, wow, God in an amazing disguise? Really interesting disguise this morning, But God isn't sick. God isn't poor. God isn't feeling bad. You are perfect. Mankind is perfect being, perfect God. Perfect. So, ministers are here and practitioners. We're here to help you look in that mirror and see that perfection. We're here because we see it. We already see it. We're trained to only see that. We don't look at the effects. We look at the cause. We look at who you truly are. You are a divine expression of God. Ernest Holmes, our founder, said, the practitioner knows that the spiritual person needs no healing. What the healer does is to mentally uncover and reveal the truth of being, which is that God is in, through everyone. And this indwelling presence is already perfect. We say healing is revealing. We're not fixing anything. We're just bringing out that which is already there, that perfection. And if you can't see it, get help. We're here to help you see it. Ernest Holmes also said that which does not belong to the real person must be discarded. We really heal thought. The spirit of mankind needs no healing, for the spirit of man is God. So set a new vision for yourself with imagination, and this will that you have should hold it in place until your inner life transforms. Ernest also said the receiving of the gift of heaven as an eternal process. It's forever expanding the finite. So he says it tends to multiply our gifts because in so doing, it multiplies its own experience. So yesterday I read that they found carbon on Mars. You know what that means? Life. And all of us here are living beings, and we have carbon in us. And carbon is a heavier element. You know, on the periodic chart, carbon is when it is getting up there, and it's a product of a star that has gone nova and basically imploded and created all the elements for life. So I thought it was exciting. So you are made of star stuff. You're one with all. So how do we recognize our gifts? You know, can you think back to your childhood? That's what we did during meditation this morning, is go back to your childhood and think of a time where someone may have said, what do you want to be when you grow up? I think you already knew what you wanted to be and what you wanted to do. And we have many gifts, so you can travel down one path, travel down another path. Usually that's what we do. And people will say, I believe we have a calling, and as a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, we know it. Because it's an urge, it's a fascination, and it's something we have to do. It's driven by love and imagination. So if you think, I don't have any calling, use your imagination and think about what it is you'd really love to express. Creativity, whatever. I've been reading a book, it's called The Soul's Code. It's by James Hillman. Now, he's not really into metaphysics, and he's a bit of, well, I like the book because he shows a lot of different people's lives and how they responded to being called, to becoming famous for the gifts they had. Ernest Holmes says, we're perfect, but our individual use of life and law enables us to cover a perfect idea with an apparently imperfect cloak. Did any of you see Harry Potter? He has his cloak, his invisibility, and he puts his cloak on and you can't see him. And it's kind of like, that's what some people do. And thank you, Joe, for playing. All morning I kept thinking, this little light of mine, do we hide it under a bushel? No, we let our light shine, but we do a lot of times. We put on that cloak of invisibility. We just cover it up. You can't hurt the soul, so don't worry about that. You're not going to hurt it, but you're just, you're creating a life that you may not enjoy. We just block our good. So when I was 3 years old, my parents asked me, I remember, they asked me, oh, what do you want to do when you get big? And I said, I want to go back to God. And I think they were kind of like, what? Yeah, so I wanted to be about my father's business. That's who I was. I was very devoted to spirit at 3 years old. But in middle school, we moved away from the farm in Nebraska, and in Casper, Wyoming, when I was 13, the teacher asked me again, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I didn't say go back to God, She think it was pretty strange, but we had to write an essay, and I wrote the essay, and I wrote an essay on moving to the French Riviera on the Mediterranean and doing glass blowing and speaking French. And everybody in the class in Casper, Wyoming, it's like that. They all wanted to be oil drillers, so they wanted to, do the typical things that you do in Casper, Wyoming. So,
not class one.
I think we know what we want. We have these gifts. We know what they are. Sometimes we're a little afraid. My parents said to me, we want you to get an education. We can't help you pay for it, but we want you to, get an education if you can, and get a good paying job. But they had been through the Depression, and so they were scarred. Their whole thing was get a good job, hold on to that job for the rest of your life, and you will not suffer. So before going to law school, I went to UCLA, and I studied my favorite studies were philosophy and psychology. And I loved studying the Greeks, especially the Greek philosophers, the French, the German, Hegel. I wrote a paper on Hegel. And I loved it, and that's where I got my good grades. Instead of being pre-med or pre-law and taking all those classes, I found a true love in philosophy and really understanding what Plato said. If you don't find what your life is all about, it's for nothing, it's for naught. Ask, what are you? Who are you? Find out. And, I don't want to denigrate my work as an attorney, but after law school, I worked for several corporations. I enjoyed it. I had fun. I loved being with people. I started off being an attorney in an office, and I was lonely, and I said, no, I like being with other people. I like doing problem solving. But in the back of my mind was that calling again. So I started taking practitioner classes. I became a practitioner in 2006, and I kept working and retired from SDG&A in 2013. Started taking more ministerial classes and became a minister in 2016. So I just want to mention two wonderful mentors, because I think also to be very successful in life, it's good to have a mentor. And mine was Reverend Frank White. He was originally from this area, and Dr. Tom Sanner. Thank you, guys. So this book, James Hillman, he believes in fate. We do not believe in fate. We are not predestined. We have the ability to choose, make choices. And principle is not bound by precedent, we say. That's what Thomas Troward said that. Every moment we have the ability to change the effects around us. We have this power. We didn't give this power over to some Greek god. And this mental equivalence class will help us consciously choose more good for our life. But I did like his choices in the book, Hillman. He compares people to an acorn. And this acorn then grows. And he mentions the tree of life, which is an archetype that is used by Kabbalism, the Kabbalah, Judaism, and by mystical Christians, the one of the tree. You've got your roots on the earth, your branches in the sky, and basically, to me, it's a sign of balance in your life. Now, Hillman talks about Judy Garland, Ella Fitzgerald, the famous singer, First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt. I think most of you know these people. Yehudi Menuhin, who was a violinist, and Josephine Baker, a very famous dancer. So he says that Ella was the queen of jazz, and it was amateur night at the Harlem Opera House. A skinny, awkward 16-year-old goes fearfully on stage. She's announced to the crowd. The next contestant is a young lady named Ella Fitzgerald, who's going to dance for us. Wait, what? No, she's changed her mind. She's going to sing for us. Well, after 3 encores, she won first prize. Though she had met to dance, something changed. We each embody our own idea. Did she have a guardian angel? I think she had herself. She told herself, it's time to sing, time to rise. I think her higher self showed her the way. And if you haven't listened to her, she has the sweetest voice, just like caramel candy. Anyway, love showed her the way, and she was good at balancing her life. Now, Yehudi Menuhin, when he was born in the U.S., but later became a British citizen. Before he was 4 years old, his parents used to take him to hear concerts, And he sat with his parents during one performance and he said, I want you to get me a violin for my 4th birthday. And I said, okay, whatever. So it was granted, but a friend gave him a toy violin that fit his hands, but it was not a real violin. And he burst into tears, threw it down, had a temper tantrum. He wasn't bound by age or size or education. He knew what his calling was. And he had a grand vision, and he let intuition and a mental equivalent. He already created that mental equivalent. He already said, I want Mr. Persinger, the star of the concert, to be my teacher. 4 years old, amazing. He also performed for the Allied soldiers during World War II and for surviving inmates of a number of concentration camps, most famously Bergen-Belsen. And he returned to Germany in 1947 to play concerts with the Berlin Philharmonic, which I've been to. It's great. As an act of reconciliation, the first Jewish musician to do so in the wake of the Holocaust, saying to his Jewish critics that he wanted to rehabilitate Germany's music and spirit. He was giving back his gifts. The other person Mr. Hillman describes is Colette. Colette, who was a French writer, she wrote the book Gigi. She was kind of the opposite. She knew she had a calling and she pushed it out for years. She was not going to write. She was not going to have paper around. She was not going to have pen around. And then one day it overcame her. And then she wrote. Eleanor Roosevelt. Eleanor lost her mother, her father, and her brother all before she was 9 years old. Apparently she was sullen. She lived in her imagination. She lied. She stole. She threw tantrums. But she had a devotion to the welfare of others. Her imaginings were preparation for the dutiful life she would later live. Imagination acted as a teacher, giving instructions for the large ministering tasks of caring for the welfare of a complex family, a crippled husband, state of New York as the governor's wife, the U.S. as its first lady, and even the UN. She gave back her gifts. And Judy Garland. Judy Garland was born Frances Gum. And by the time she was 2 years old, she was on the stage with her sisters, being a ham, singing. And she said she already knew what she wanted. She said, quote, nobody ever taught me what to do on stage. I just did that, which came naturally. But she chose her life. She chose that stardom. I don't know that she was prepared. I don't think she had the roots on the ground. Addictions, suicide attempts, inhumane schedules kept her from her joy. Now she did singing to the troops. She entertained at army bases. She made films, but she didn't know how to cook. She didn't know how to raise children. She didn't know how to keep a house or keep a husband. And you can hear it in her music, this nostalgia, this sadness, this silence, yearning for something else. But that's the stuff of Judy Garland. One last person, Josephine Baker. Now, Josephine was born Frida McDonald. She was born in the St. Louis Social Evil Hospital. That's what they used to call a hospital for what they've, unmarried women and other evil hospital. They did change the name finally. But she began dancing in her basement on a stage that she made. Her life shows many similarities to Judy Garland. She became a show business success. She traveled to France and became, I think she actually became, I don't know if she became a citizen. She may have, but she was loved in France. And during the war, she helped the underground. She was awarded the Legion of Honor. She was also awarded what's called the Croix de Guerre, the cross, and she was congratulated by de Gaulle. Now, she returned to America. She participated in the Civil Rights Movement, the 1963 March on Washington, and she even supported 11 adopted children. Now, even though she died broke and homeless, which is kind of an archetype of the rise and fall, she had great gifts and she gave them away. I think she died a complete person. So I just want to say to each of us, we have these special gifts. And it is important to figure out what your gift is. And it's never too late. Whether you're 1 or 116, I think the oldest person is 116, you still have gifts. You still have gifts you can give away. Listen for this calling. Use your imagination. And you're not a product of your parents. You're not a product of your DNA or your grandparents, your hereditary, your ancestrals, poor parenting, good parenting. Write your own story. This is you. You're responsible for you. Ernest Holmes said, the practice of truth is personal to each one of us. And in the long run, no one can live our life for us. To each is given what he or she needs, and the gifts of heaven come alike to all. So, enjoy your gifts. And so it is.
And so it is.
Inspiring talk, Reverend Maurene.
Thank you.
We can all be little sons. Waitress, she works in a small cafe. She serves you with a smile. She gives all her tips away to the needy homeless souls who drop in late at night. She can't afford it, but it helps them see the light. We can all be little suns, shed light everywhere we go, warming up our atmosphere, causing that love to grow. We could keep to our own space and let the world be a colder place. Or we could all be little suns. And I know this fella, he sings high and sweet. He plays real good guitar. He plays it with his feet. He may not have arms, but he's got some light within. And when he sings and plays, he shines it out again. We can all be little suns, shed light everywhere we go, warming up our atmosphere, causing that love to grow. Or we can keep to our own space and let the world be a colder place. Or we could all be little suns. Mother Teresa, she'd have given you her own shirt, that little old lady. Man, she tackled some great big hurt. A supernova is what she's come to be. She can still use some help from sons like you and me. We can all be little suns, shed little sons. Yeah, we've all known trouble. Everyone has felt a loss. Everyone has stood the strain for carrying round their cross. Now with all this common ground, why can't we plant the seed and reap the harvest that we all so badly need? We can all be little suns, shed light everywhere we go, warm up our atmosphere, causing that love to grow. Or we could get to our own space and let the world be a colder place. Or we can all be little suns. We can all be little suns, shed light everywhere we go, warming up our atmosphere, causing that love to grow. Or we can keep to our own space, let the world be a colder place. Or we can all be little suns. Oh yeah, we can all be little sons. Hallelujah. We can all be little sons. Thank you.
Thank you.
If everything works.
Thank you, Joe. Wow. Well, this is our time for conscious giving, and I just want to thank you in advance because your gifts to Carlsbad Center for Spiritual Living, they help us spread truth. This is what we do. And I just wanted to also mention to you, you know, the gift of sunshine and the gift of air, it's free. And God is there to give freely. So thank you in advance. And just know the gift that you have blesses you as well as the one receiving it. So if you have, I know some of us share online or check or credit card. We have many ways of giving. So if you have your gift and you want to hold it over your heart, and just know with me that divine love as me blesses and multiplies everything that I am, everything that I have, everything that I give, and everything I share. This is circulation of love. So I give great gratitude that this is so, and so it is. So let's sing. I'm so blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you, thank you. And before I do the final treatment, just to let you know, Robert and I are having a party on my birthday, the 19th, and you're all invited. And the invites are out here. It's going to be at the clubhouse where we live. So feel free to join us on the 19th. It's a Friday, 4:30? 4:30. Okay. So,
And there's papers out in the lobby showing where it's at.
great. Okay. Well, would you like to join me in consciousness? And just take a deep breath. Take a couple deep breaths. Oh, and just be here now, in this moment, in this room. There is only one spirit, one life, God's life, right here, right now. All-knowing, everywhere present, all-powerful. Just amazing, amazing. And I know for each of you, as I know for myself, that I am one with it. And there's never been any separation and never will be. I am one with this power. And today I speak my word for all of us when I say that I choose to live from this power, this perfection which is in me, around me, and through me. I am it. I am one with this. I am beautiful. I am prosperous. I am healthy. All the attributes of God are mine. I accept them. I say yes. And I live my life giving of myself, giving my talents. I listen to my calling. I use my imagination. And I give only love. Because that's who I really am. And I take responsibility for my life. Because I am one. So I give gratitude. Give gratitude for today. I give gratitude for this life. I give gratitude for this church, this fellowship, and so much more. I know my words are acted upon as I have spoken them, so I release and I let go. I turn it over. You got it now. God's got my back. I am and always will be one with pure life, pure love. So I am extremely grateful. I release my word. I let it go. And we say together, and so it is. So thank you.
You'll all stand and sing the closing song with me by Wash and Tara called You Can't Stop Love. Open your heart. Let your love go free out over the ocean, right across the street. Let it flow like a river, let it fly like a dove, till your heart remembers you can't stop love. Once you get it started, watch what it does. It'll go full circle. You can't stop love. Open your heart. Let your love go free out over the ocean or right across the street. Let it flow like a river. Let it fly like a dove. Till your heart remembers you can't stop love. Once you get it started, watch what it does. It'll go full circle. You can't stop love. Thank you.